Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Kush Wave. Welcome to Handcuff Status Podcast. Chelsea's unavailable today. I'll be filling in for her, but we got a great interview. Today's topic will be discussing what is life after incarceration. We have two exclusive guests today, Trindalin Brownings and Wytishia Bly. They will be sharing their experiences with us and story. Let's get right into it. Before we get into it, could you guys please just give a brief history to the audience of who you are individually?
My name is Wytisha Bly. I'm an author. I've been doing a little acting, so I guess you can call me an actress. I'm getting ready to turn my book into a movie myself and film it. It's
Wow,
kind of like an autobiography of my life, everything I've been through and stuff. And it definitely has my journey of incarceration in there. I'm a single mom. I live here in Douglasville, and I'm just excited to be on today.
nice.
Well, I am Trindalin. I too am an author. I wrote, co-authored a book with several other ladies. I currently work in the reentry space for an organization called Women on the Rise. I am a mother of two boys and two um, little four-leggeds. I'm a dog mom. Been married for quite some time, 28 years.
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
Wow.
sorry.
been there. Been married for 28 years and yeah, I'm just excited to be here to share my story and to hopefully encourage, inspire someone and let people know that there absolutely is life on the other side of incarceration and it is all about self-determination and the power of redemption.
Well, I read both of your bios, and you guys are both superwomen in my eyes. It's a pleasure to be able to even interview you guys right now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Um, we're gonna get into the questioning. I really want to know before we get into what happened after the incarceration. Could you please give the audience a little recollection of what happened that led up to incarceration, and let's talk about a little bit of the incarceration, and then what you guys are doing now.
Well, so I was young actually. So my incarceration was several years ago. I was young, and I got into a fight with a bully, and I had a weapon. I used a weapon. So she was stabbed. So I went to prison for aggravated assault. But I was in my 20s. So I guess at that age, everybody wants to prove themselves to be bad and things. There she go. There she go. Everybody, want to prove themselves to be bad, and that's what I did. I still feel like it was in self defense. Because I was hit first, and I was sitting. I wasn't of no threat to this woman. She was more of a threat to me. But yeah, I did use a weapon, and I went to prison.
Oh man, well you were in your mind you were defending yourself. It wasn't
Yes,
out of malicious intent. So,
yes, I had never been in trouble before. Never,
or before that time, was never in trouble.
never.
So you didn't get like a first offenders.
I did, and they still sent me to prison.
Wow.
Yes, I got
Welcome to
first offense.
Georgia.
I know, right? Because
Right?
that
Welcome
was
to
the whole
Georgia.
thing. The people, because I listened to the street committee and my lawyer, and they all was like, "You've never been in trouble. Plead first offender. You'll probably just get probation." So, like I said, young, not knowing any better, me and my family, we listened, and yeah, I was sentenced up under the First Offenders Act, but I still received a 15-year sentence for aggravated assault. And I served I'm sorry, it was 15, do five, served 5 of those years. And I served 4 of those years in prison and like a year on parole and the following 10 on probation. So like I said, that's been a long journey for me. 2017, I have completely been released from all of that. So
Well, thank
yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah.
10 years probation is not a short time. It's like walking
No,
a
and
hard
those
shot.
4 years wasn't either for someone that put their hands on me first. You know what I mean? And was a
Exactly.
threat to me. I was in my vehicle. I was of no threat to her. And I do want to say this, which I don't know if I could talk about this on your podcast, but I truly feel like it was kind of like revenge in my town because a year and a half prior to me catching this charge, my ex boyfriend held me, my grandfather, and my daughter hostage for about 5 hours. It was on the news. It was really big in my small town, and he kind of had the sheriff and the entire deputy department outside trying to get him out. Trying, you have to talk people down when they have hostages and stuff. And so when they finally got him to surrender, which they didn't get him to surrender, I feel like my daughter to this day saved my life that day because he came there to kill me. But she woke up from the time that she had been asleep the whole time all that was going on, and I think he was high too, so I think he had came off his high, and he kind of just walked out the door. But they were willing to antagonize him, do all these things, and like pretty much carry three bodies out of there for all they care. They didn't really take. So for that reason, and because I know he came there to kill me and he didn't, I didn't testify against him. So when they would have been able to pick up a 20-year kidnapping charge with my testimony. So without my testimony and his very good lawyer, he only served 3 years for false imprisonment. So this was the same district attorney that I had to see a year later when I caught my charge. So to me, I just feel like it was a vendetta against me because I didn't give them what they wanted. Because they had been trying to get him, a known drug dealer, off the streets for years, and that would have been a way
I'm
if I would
sorry.
have testified.
I'm sorry to cut you, but
Hmm.
I interviewed another individual in Inglewood, California, named Brandon Spencer,
Hmm.
and the eyewitness in his case, redacted their statement saying that they never seen this man with a gun, they never seen him shoot anybody, and they still have that man in jail doing 40 years.
Wow.
40 years. So I believe you.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
I believe
they
you
have
when you
they'll
say when you don't give them what they want, it could get ugly.
yes,
It could get
because the
ugly.
woman that put her hands on me, she had a record. She had been plenty fights, locked up over and over again. I had never been in trouble, and yeah, and that's what happened. My first time in trouble sent me right on to prison.
Definitely a big injustice done to you and your family, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Georgia needs to do something about their criminal justice system.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Really
and
do.
after serving 2 of those 4 years, I did what they call a like a reconsideration of your sentence. So you have to go back in front of that same judge that sentenced you. After this is after I had done half my time, and she chose not to show up. And the lawyers and DA asked her how did she feel about me being released, and she said she didn't care one way or the other. If I stayed, I stayed. If I got out, I got out, which for me, that's a good thing. Because her as the victim, if she says no, she can't get out, that's what they look at. So with her saying, no, it doesn't matter to me, I thought I was going to go home. But the judge said, I don't think 5 years was enough.
Yeah, yeah. The
Wow.
judge has the last say on
Yeah. So I went right on back to,
yeah,
to,
they have
to finish my time. Yeah. So,
yeah, they have the last say on everything that happens in that courtroom, right?
yeah.
Trindalin, would you like to share yours?
So mine is totally different. Mine was theft by conversion, where I was working in an accounting firm, and I was sentenced to a year. But like Wytisha, 10 years probation. Well, 9 years probation, 10 years with a year to serve. If I paid them back a large portion of the money, then they knocked it down to 6 months. So I actually served 6 months, but I am still on probation. Um, and hopefully we'll be getting off within the next 2 years. Well, probably a year and a half with the 3 year, no other charges, no other being in trouble, anything like that. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I'm happy that you were able to knock it down to 6 months
Me
because
too. Mhm.
a lot of times they'll just take your money and still make you do the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So at least you were able to get it down to 6 months. Can I ask you, ladies, like, what was your view of the prison system before you were incarcerated to your view of it now?
Ooh, wow. For me, go not like that was my first time like Wytisha. I really didn't know what to expect, right? So you see all these different things on television and you are really walking in with blinders on. Um always thinking the worst. Always like feeling like you have to be on guard. But to the prison system itself sucks. Like, don't get me, it's horrible being called everything, all kinds of names. The
Names,
food, oh yeah, by the guards. Like
On the
you are
jails.
everything but your name. like y'all bitches and blah blah blah, like everything but your name.
The
Yeah.
guards are calling the ladies derogatory terms.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They were so jealous. And, like I said, I went in
Yeah.
early 2000s. And even though we were the women incarcerated, we still were the ones looking better, keeping ourselves up. They coming in every day from the free world looking crazy. I think they was a little upset
Yeah.
about that, maybe. I don't know. But
There's
yeah,
a
they
lot
were
of
very,
jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy amongst the inmates and the guards.
yes,
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
crazy. These people
A
are
lo-
serving
For
time. Do
free,
your
you get to go
job.
home every day.
yeah,
Do
you get to
your job.
leave every day, and they come in with the worst attitudes,
The
like
worst. Like, I'm
the
like, what is
worst.
happening out here that we don't know about?
Yeah.
Got
They
y'all
go
getting
home
upset every day.
they go home every day, and they come in with a more negative attitude than the inmates that are
Mm-hmm.
in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you had your select few, like you knew when they were on shift, then the day would go pretty smooth. But
much better.
if they were
Yeah.
not, you'd be like,
And I think
oh
that to
hell,
me,
so and so on shift today, you know.
for me, I think that was like what we would look forward to. Like, please let this guard be on tonight. You know what I mean? And I think those people just had compassion. They just had compassion.
So at
They
least
showed
you had a few in there that weren't
absolutely.
complete. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And I think for one of the ones I used to talk to, like on a not personal because I don't want to get nobody in trouble, but I think she had a family member incarcerated, so I think that was another reason why she was, more
Okay, so she
lenient
was
on
more
us.
understandable. I
Yeah.
mean, understanding.
Mm-hmm.
She was more
Yes.
understanding because she was going through a similar,
Something like
not
that. Hmm.
yet, like similar,
And
like
she
your
didn't
Mm-hmm.
want her
family was
loved one,
going through it.
and she didn't want her loved one to be mistreated for nothing.
Mm.
Like there are definitely were inmates that causes a mess. I understand that, but if these inmates come and they're trying to just do their time and go home, why are you giving those
Mm-hmm.
ones the hard time? Because
Yeah.
that definitely was me. I just want to get out of
That-
there as
yes.
fast as possible.
Do you, do you guys believe that you had a fair trial?
Well, I just told you. No, I know I
No,
didn't.
I
I know
didn't.
I
I didn't
didn't.
even have a
They were get
trial.
back with me.
Yeah, and I didn't even have a trial at all.
You
Oh
took a
no,
deal.
you pleaded.
Hmm. Yeah, because mine happened right around COVID, and everything had shut down, and so for those like almost 2 year and a half, I was going back and forth with the DA and my attorney trying to figure it out and work it out because they wanted to make me do the entire 10 years, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I
Mhm.
am not doing that.
I
So
know,
yeah.
right? And
But
you ain't never deal.
when I was watching when I was watching the news during COVID, I thought Biden said it was okay for you guys to go steal stuff. I thought he said that he.
What?
Yeah, I
I
thought he
missed
said he
that.
wasn't gonna. I thought he said.
Okay, when did,
When did he say that?
I thought he said he wasn't gonna
right.
because it's COVID, right. Everybody's suffering. Like it's hard.
Mm-mm. But
I figured that.
actually, my charge is like when I actually stole it was 2014. They didn't find out. They
Okay, so
found
it
out in
wasn't.
two. They found out in 2018. I was arrested initially 2019, and then COVID happened, and so that's what took
Okay.
us so
So that makes more
long.
sense now because
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you weren't. It wasn't COVID. It was almost 8 years prior. So that's why they
Mm-hmm.
dealt with you like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember COVID was hard. It was hard for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did your families support you guys through your time incarcerated?
Oh yeah, I was
Yes.
spoiled. Visitation every
Yes.
weekend, store. Yeah, because my family was not expecting me to go. So since they couldn't save me from going. They tried to make it as easy as possible. Packages every month, everything that you would want in prison. I had that.
Because I was only 6 months, I was like, y'all don't have to come. I
Yeah,
think it was
that's
like
right.
3 hours away. I was like, y'all don't have
Them
to
sleepers
come.
away.
Yeah, yeah. And that's all I did. I slept and read books because my time was so short. I couldn't get a detail. So I literally sat in the dorm all day long, every day.
I
Mhm.
tried to keep it
Well,
from
at
my
least you
daughter
made.
too. Like the first year. I'm sorry.
I said at least you made use of her time. No, I'm sorry for cutting you. What were you saying about your daughter?
I was saying I tried to make her think that I just was like in some type of a work camp. You know what I
Mm,
mean? 'Cause
mm-hmm.
she was only 3. So I was trying to make her think, and she was going to turn 4 right when I left. So I was like, yeah, this is work camp. I'm gonna have to do a job. When I finish the job, she
Oh,
just asked me,
Oh,
when are you gonna finish the job? So I remember one time she just came and like flat out asked me, is this a prison? I'm like, who you been talking to? I told you I was at work. Nobody said,
my
yeah,
kids.
kids, they
Hey, when
curious.
like
they you could
like
tell
you
when
wearing
they had
that.
enough. They could because they know when they're being when they're being
Yes, real
Yeah.
curious. I
dancing around the
appreciate that.
question.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but I
She's
totally
had
understand.
enough, Wytisha. She wants to know.
She wants to know,
Yes.
Mama, you what kind of work is this?
Yes, you have that same khaki outfit on every time I see you.
Yes, every
Like you
time I
can't.
go.
You
Yeah, and
see,
you know what?
Yes.
Every single
they're
time I
smarter
have
than they're a
I
lot smarter than they look.
yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
are. You can't get nothing past them now. You really can't.
At all.
But I never showed my emotion until I got back to my dorm. Because I never
Mm.
wanted my
Mm-hmm.
family to think I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And they
Mm-hmm.
always came deep. Like you had 12 on your visitation list. I had 12 people to show up.
Oh, that's
Oh
great.
yeah.
I
Oh man,
really
they used to talk
I
about my visitation all the
love to
time.
hear
Real
that.
family reunion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say that all 12 came every weekend, but for the
But
most
they
part, it was at least
mm-hmm.
4 or 5 people every time. And so yeah, I would wait. I would literally come out there with a big old smile, like everything is okay, and I would walk away like that. But as soon as I get back to the door, I would
Cause
just
that's the cause
pray.
like that I think that part was the hardest part, like knowing that you were missing birthdays, you were missing those barbecues and those special events and just being able to hang out. Um like and I remember when I would be down, I would not call home
Oh,
because
because
they
They
can
can
hear it in your
tell.
voice. They'd be
Mhm.
like, "What's wrong?" I'd be like, I'm not even gonna call home when something is going on." But my sister, she is a bulldog. She would call up to the prison. Where's my sister? She on lockdown or something? I'd be like,
Why
girl,
she ain't reaching out?
why she ain't call? Yes.
that's
And
good though. That's
yeah,
good.
That's really good. Yeah.
but them guards, they were, they so petty. So if you didn't do what they said, if there was too much talking, if you were loud in chow hall, anything, oh, we turning y'all TV off. We taking y'all phones from y'all. So you could go the whole weekend or days with no phone, no television, couldn't call home, couldn't do anything.
I never understood. I never understood that. It's like they're already in prison, and you're going to limit them even more than they're already limited. I mean, it's not like there's 300 phones on the range. There's like four phones maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has to share the phones.
Mm-hmm.
You take away the phones now, you're inciting violence because people get
Mm-hmm.
upset. They start fighting. They can't talk to
Yeah.
their loved ones. It didn't make. It's so. It's like they want the headache. I really don't understand what their motives are when they do
It's
stuff.
a real control thing. They want to know that they have the power to tell you how to move, when to move, and if you don't move, then oh, you're not gonna do it. Okay, come on, let's go to lockdown.
Yeah.
And so they use
Yeah.
anything to hold over your head to get you to do what they like, from the smallest things. Oh, y'all had no pads. Oh well, too bad. You don't have no razor. Oh well, too bad. Oh, y'all don't have any soap. Like if you didn't make store, if you had to rely on them for everything, for soap, for lotion, for just any and everything, you were messed up if they decided that they didn't want to bring it around.
Yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
With Wytisha, you said that you're a mother at the
Hmm.
time, right?
Yes, I had one child at that time.
Trin
Mhm.
Trindalin, are you also a mother?
Oh yes, my boys were older. My youngest was 19 and my oldest was 25 at the time. So I
Okay.
couldn't be like,
Right.
"Oh, I'm going to work camp."
Yeah, you couldn't dance around that one.
I couldn't, no. No.
Um, but yours was young, right?
Yeah, she was
Wytisha?
3 getting ready to turn 4 years old.
Okay, so can I ask you guys, can you share what motherhood meant to you before your incarceration and how that changed during your time in prison?
Well, I want to say, because I became a mom at 17, very young. And so I I don't think I grasped being a mommy before I went to prison like that. Yeah, I think it was, I had a huge support. My mama, my grandmama, everybody spoiled her. I never had her. I didn't really get it. But when I walked out of that prison, it was totally different. I've been hands on ever since. Cause I think I just was like, oh wow, we take life for granted. You know what I mean? I miss so much. And then I spoke about this on my own podcast. We come home and we think we can make up for time by spending all this money and all this type of stuff, but you never get that time back.
No,
All the money in the world, like all the money I spent, I didn't think, I wasn't responsible with the money. I came home just trying to make sure that all the characters from my favorite show was at her birthday party, and just spend all this money when I didn't realize I needed to be like, just trying to let me start from here. Not let me make up for anything. Let's start from here. But I
exactly.
finally caught on. You know what I mean? I finally caught on. So I feel like to me, it actually matured me as a mother. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I mean, that's how I feel. I came home different, you know.
Wow.
And you know what? I say that same I feel that same way. Although being in prison was the worst experience and something I'll never ever want to go through again, I do feel like prison shaped me into being a better person all the way around. I understand freedom much better, like the what it is to totally be free, not just to be free from behind the walls, but to be free in your mind and to live in such a way that you are intentional about your life each and every day. Because when you have it stripped away from you and you are not able to just get up and go move as freely as you want to move, you begin to, for me, I value now, it's the smallest things, being able to walk outside and take a walk, being able to get in the car and drive down the street to get whatever. So and as a mom, like I said, my boys were older, but it did change the way that I interact with them once I got home. It taught me to, like, you have to be honest, you have to be willing, if whatever it is that you want to do, because as parents we want to kind of coddle them and say that's okay, it's going to be
Hmm.
okay.
Yep.
No, when especially having two black boys here
Yep.
in Georgia, I
Anywhere
mean,
in the world.
what,
Black
yeah,
boys
if
anywhere in the
you,
world.
yeah, whatever it is you decide that you want to do, you have to be ready for whatever consequence come with it.
That is so
So really drilling in on them to make wise choices and make wise decisions, and don't ever let anybody, or don't ever put yourself in a situation to where your freedom can be taken away from you, because once you get that GDC number, they
That's it.
feel like they can own you. Yeah.
true. Treat you any
Hmm.
kind of way.
I'm so happy you said that. I am so happy you said that because I feel like as a people, not just the brothers, the sisters too, we're being attacked, and it doesn't matter where we are in the world. It doesn't matter. Even in our own places, we're attacking ourselves, and we have to think and make wiser decisions and have a plan. Have a plan of where we want to be in 5 years, where we want to be in 10 years, and the steps that we need to take to get there, the goals we need to set to accomplish. So I'm really happy that you said that because I feel like we don't even, we don't think about it. Did you guys have support from other females in jail?
I
Oh,
say,
click.
yes, I say, I am still in touch with ladies that I met there.
Them the
I
Yes.
realest
still have I
out here. You
still
hear
have
me?
some that call me while there. I met some there and that are now released, and we talk on the phone. One thing about being in prison, there are no airs. You are your truest self while you are there in prison, and you get to learn who that woman is while you are there in prison. I say I've met some of the best women while I was incarcerated.
Yes, I wouldn't trade them for nothing. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, remember how long I've been out, and they are still in my life to this day. Like I actually made my move to Atlanta because of some of those women, because they all were from here. And I just told them I didn't want to go back to my small town because I felt like if I did, I was gonna go back to prison. So, I was only down there for a short time, and it was like, make the move. If you need resources when you get up here, you'll have them. I'm telling you, some of the realest, strongest, compassionate, kind people are locked up. or have
Yes,
been in
are
prison,
locked up.
or
Exactly.
have
Believe
been. You
that.
know what I mean?
I
You
believe that.
meet great people in
Mm-hmm.
there. They're not
Mm-hmm.
just all demonic and monsters in prison.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I
Mm-hmm.
definitely believe that. Some of the smartest people I've ever met,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
They
And
have hopes, they have dreams,
Yeah.
they are ambitious,
I'm
It
thankful.
is everybody has done something, just not everybody has gotten caught and have to serve time.
we've all made mistakes in life.
That's right.
Even the ones that are arresting us for making the mistakes have also made.
Mm,
Hmm. Absolutely.
mm-hmm.
And I wish they would think like that when they're throwing away the key, or calling you derogatory terms just because you made a mistake and now you're behind bars. It's ignorant, but it's like I'm saying, we as a nation are. It's like everyone made a pact against us or something. I'm not too sure what
Mm.
it is, but yeah, we're definitely look down on, right?
Can I say
Um,
this before you move
yeah,
on from that
of
about the
course.
girls? Because also I know I mentioned my grandmama. She was like the very closest person to me, more than my mom. Because my mom always had a strenuous relationship, so my grandmama and I was so tight. But she passed while I was in prison,
Oh,
and
sorry to hear that.
Mm.
I had permission from Pulaski State Prison. I had permission. You know, I guess whoever else would have to give me permission on that end. The warden, everybody say yes. But the sheriff, remember, still upset with me because he said no, she can't come. So you have a sheriff department and you have a chief of police department in your town. The chief of police has known my grandmother my entire life. He said, "Look, I know these people. They were very close. I will go down there. I put my badge on the line, and I will drive down there and pick her up and bring her here and bring her back." And he still said no. So those women
Wow.
rallied around me because I was like, now I had done 2 years of a sentence in peace, no problems.
Mm.
But after they wouldn't let me go see my grandma buried, I was ready to turn into the person of why I ended up there. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like I said, I wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
fighter. I just had this fight. So I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
a problem in your city or anything like that. Someone hurt me and I defended myself. And
Yeah,
he
you
said no
did.
because, like I said, still holding this grudge. So those women,
Wow.
the hardest time of my sentence, they were there for me.
That's
Like there
great.
for me.
That's
I
great.
could
And
never forget them, even if I wanted to. I couldn't.
Mm-hmm. That's
They were there for me. So
yeah,
yeah,
they played an important role.
what I'm talking
mm-hmm.
about for weeks. I'm not talking about for a day or two of praying with you. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about for weeks and weeks on until they finally saw that I was just gonna try to, go through the real healing process. Because at first it was just be destructive.
Yeah,
That's what my mind
Mm.
was. But they were just praying with me, crying with me, would sit in silence with me. Whatever I wanted to feel better, they did, and I will never forget that.
Mm-hmm.
that's great. And I hope you're still in contact with them.
I am. And listen, I wouldn't be on this podcast right now if it wasn't for one of them. See what I'm
Is that
trying to tell you?
is that
Mm-hmm.
true?
That's true. One of
Wow.
them, she was listen, and then remember now, I got out of prison in 2007. My friend, who is the reason I'm here, she still continued to do about 15 more
Yeah,
years.
because she didn't get out till 2020, right?
Yes,
2020.
yes, yes. But we
So
had that much
she
of
did
an
the right
impact on each
time.
other during the time that we were incarcerated that the love is still there. And I love her to death. This is my
I
girl.
love that. I love that for you guys. I love that. Cause we
Thank
gotta
you.
stick together, man.
I
We gotta.
know, right?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Especially those women. I'm sorry.
I mean, women have a bad habit of not sticking together. So
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You men
Mm-hmm.
could hate each other, shake on it, and go on about y'all
And go on
business.
about your business. See them next week, and it's like
Shake
nothing
their
ever
hand and
happened.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
But not us. You're gonna have to bring out the firing squad to stop us from attacking each other.
Do you think women are more likely to receive life sentences, long prison terms, for certain
Yes.
types of crimes such as drug-related offenses?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a fact.
I'm asking if you feel that way.
Oh my God. I did not know that. I would say men. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, prior to being in the work that I'm in, and
Yes.
going to court with these ladies and sitting and listening and hearing the stories and knowing the stories of ladies that are directly impacted, I would say yes. You can, I see, you can have a male and a female do the exact same crime. As a matter of fact, I have a young lady. She is sitting in Fulton County Jail right now for terroristic threats and aggravated assault. She was with her boyfriend. He has a long history of just being in trouble, right? Um, they want to give her 20 years to the door. Nobody was killed, nobody was hurt,
Why so much?
but because welcome to Georgia. They
No,
want to give
terroristic
her.
threats carries a lot of time though, because that was one of
Mhm.
the man that held me hostage. That was one of his charges. I think
Mm,
it's kind of up there with the sentencing. I don't know what that is
yeah,
about that,
yeah.
but
But
yeah,
he was with her. They were together. She's getting all these charges.
yeah, he's
Don't
fine.
he don't have the same charges as her. But
Wow.
they were in the
Horrible.
car together.
That's horrible. I think they do that to make her like kind of turn on him, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they would
I
do something.
think Georgia feels like you are a woman. You should be at home with your children. You are not supposed to be outside doing anything
The
other
things
than
that the men
being
would do.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I
So
mean, he's
we're
20.
so they have the we're going to show you type of thing mentality. We're going to show you, we're going to make an example out of you so the next woman won't do the same things.
Won't do the
But yeah,
same.
women are getting incarcerated and having harsher sentences than men here in Georgia. I know for Georgia.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Hmm.
How do social and economic factors such as poverty or lack of education influence the harsh sentencing for women?
I
Wow.
would say it's not just women, but I would say women and men. One, because you don't really have anybody that's fighting for you. Like if you don't have that family support, if you do not have anybody that's coming to court, that's making sure that your discovery packet is together, that's making sure that you have um, reference letters and character references and all of those things. So when you go before the judge, they can present the whole person. And if you do not have the resources or the means to hire a private attorney and you are relying on a public defender that may have 25, 50 other clients and they come see you the day before you're supposed to go to court. And so then when you show up in court, all they say is, oh, this person has been born in Georgia, been a part of this community for so long. And that's it. They aren't telling you anything about the person. You don't know that they have family support. You don't know that they've been working. You don't get to see the entire person, which really sucks. So when you go before a judge, the ADA, they get to say whatever it is that they want to say. They can give a litany of everything that you've done because that's another thing that they're going to ask. They're going to ask how many cycles has this person had with law enforcement.
Mm,
So they don't just look at this isolated incident, they're going to go all the way back. So if they say you've had all of these chances, but it's been a 10-year gap in between, they aren't going to say, oh, it's been a 10-year gap. No, they're just going to rattle off, oh, she's had, 3, 4, 5, 6 cycles with law enforcement.
mhm.
So I think if you do not have the means or the resources
Mhm.
to hire a private attorney, then a lot of people unfortunately get sent to prison, get these unfair sentences, get these long probations, and are just stuck
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree
and
with
trying
that.
to figure out how to pick the pieces up.
I agree
And
with you
see,
as well.
in my small town, because it's very small, so all the attorneys are friends. So it's not really good to get an attorney from my town. Is
Mm-hmm.
that they all are friends. You remember I told you that I can't when I did 2 years, I came back in front of the judge. So
Yes.
we
Mm-hmm.
paid that same attorney all these thousands of dollars to just see if he could, just give me time served. Because again, I had no DRs, no problems, no prior a history of being arrested and everything. And from what I was told, because again, it's a small town, the attorney just happened to be a family members of mine, half sibling. And it was just said that, he took the money, gave the district attorney half of it, and they had me in court. I want you to know, remember, I had to drive from Hawkinsville to Milledgeville. I think that was like 3 hour, 4 hour drive. And then they put me in the cell, and then they pull you out for court. I was in front of that judge all of 80 seconds. Because like
I
I
was
said,
going to
all
say
these
three
years ago,
minutes.
I feel like I didn't give you enough time. And they sent me
Yeah.
right on back.
Yeah,
So
so they just wanted to say that they were able to get you in court,
they just
which is a
he
lot
got
of
that
times what
money.
they want to do. Oh, well,
Yes.
you had your chance to see the judge. Oh, we did the bond modification. We
Yep.
did the
Yep.
sentence modification.
Yep.
We all they are required to do is get you back in front of the judge.
Yep. And that was that. And that man went on with his
Mm-hmm.
life. And these two people done been seen golfing and at each other's house. And they're cool, which, like I said, that's expected. But I do want to mention that I was on a podcast last year. I think it's called, the organization was Women Woke Within. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But she had an attorney to come on there. And it was for me and another young lady that had been incarcerated. And she wanted the attorney to give us, tell us things that we didn't know. Like, she asked us, when we were sentenced, did any of us get to go back home the day we were sentenced? And I was like, no. And the young lady was like, no. And they were like, we were supposed to, just like Trump did. You know what I mean? That's supposed to happen for us too. You don't necessarily have to go directly from getting sentenced to go to jail. They supposed to give you time.
Let's say your goodbyes.
Yeah, the attorney said I promise you it was last year. I cannot remember, and I guess because it was so long ago for me, I didn't take notes or write it down or whatever. But it's a law. It's something that he's saying legally. We did not have to go directly to prison like that. I think that's what makes a big deal, with how it is now. Not knowing, it's a lot of people, they don't know. They just roll over and take sentences because they don't know any better.
And that's another thing. I feel like the school system is not doing enough justice for the youth growing up in educating them on the laws that are gonna govern their lives. You shouldn't be able to graduate a level of school without understanding the laws that
The laws.
are gonna
Mm-hmm.
life. Like, you're gonna go out there in the world. You did how much years of school, and you never took a test on law or on the laws.
Mm-hmm.
You
Hmm.
don't know much about the world until you're actually in it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you're an adult, and I feel like they set these traps for us, and
Mm.
we fall right into them.
Right.
We fall right into them.
I think the level of humanity and compassion has totally left. Like, if you are doing human service work, then there needs to be some type of criteria or something to show that you have that compassion, that empathy, and that humanity. Because if you're representing somebody and your job is to hopefully keep them out of jail or as minimal time as possible, then that's what you should be working towards, and it's not just getting a check.
And I wish there was a way to gauge morality or to gauge
Mm-hmm.
ethics and these things, but their way of gauging it is you're not a criminal or you haven't been arrested, so you're eligible to do these things now. You know what I mean? If you've never been arrested, you could be a cop. If you've never been arrested, you could be a fireman, or you could be something of importance. But if you've been arrested, they put you in a position where you could only work in the factory, or you could only drive the Uber, or you could only do something that is not
Or you
is
can't even drive Uber here if you have a record.
oh no. So yeah, so like, you see, there's
Yeah.
restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
When you come out of jail, they should be opening things up to you so that you
Yeah.
don't go back. But
Exactly.
they
I
give you so
thought
much
that was supposed.
restrictions.
I
Sorry.
thought that's what all this justice reform is about, though. I thought it was supposed to be now to set people up when they get out. So is that not really happening? Like,
No,
all these
that's not really
organizations are
happening.
forming.
Um, I mean, they have the name and
Yeah.
the big building that these people
Yeah.
go to work, but are they morally, like what Trindalin was saying, are they more do they morally care? Is their values there. It's
So I must be a little misguided because again, I thought there were like a lot of funding out there now for that. That's why
They're
these
definitely,
organizations
you
are getting
know,
the funding.
you
well, you're
aren't being
right.
misguided. There's the funding is
You're
there.
They
Okay.
got the funding.
The funding is there, and
Okay.
people are getting the money. However, there's still such a great lack of resources, right? If
Okay.
we look
Okay.
at dealing with the ladies that are coming out that need housing, we know how hard it is. We were just on the call today with another organization about housing, because you come out and you want to get an apartment, they say, oh no, you have a criminal record, we aren't going to rent this apartment to you. Or like he was saying, now where are you going to go and work? What are you going to do to employ yourself to make money, to be able to pay rent? Because and now they're saying you have to make three times the
Yeah.
rent in order
Unheard
to
of.
even live in the place.
Who
Yeah,
makes three
So
times the rent?
nobody
Who makes
unless your
whose job
government.
is paying that?
Yeah, unless you're
right.
hired by the government, right?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
So
Right.
I
So
think
they
it's just it's a perpetual cycle. Oh yeah, we're going to give you just enough. We're gonna give you a little bit so you can go in this shelter. Who wants to be in the shelter? If I just come out of prison, I don't want to be in no shelter with another 50 women. Like I want
Right.
to be able, I want to be set up. We should be set up in your own place with employment and give people the real opportunity that to be able to get back reacclimated into society and to become
give them the
productive
best chance,
citizens.
I really thought
Yeah,
that that was
give them
heavy. I
a
thought that was a
give
big
them a
thing
true
now.
chance.
a true chance. Give them the
Hmm.
best chance you could get them at a time. You should give them.
Hmm.
I want to ask you guys this though. I know it's you guys have to. It's 9 o'clock and right, but I have one more question I want to ask you guys before I
Hmm.
close out. Okay, how do domestic violence and trauma history factor into the sentence process for women who commit crimes?
Mm.
Oh. So
So
you
like
mean
the history of these things happening, like let's say she's not a violent woman, but her husband cheated on her and she hit him, right? And he files something and is documented. Later on, she does something else, right? How does that history factor of the domestic violence affect her sentencing?
You
Yeah,
want
I
to answer?
think they go and dig and find anything on a black woman, especially to see what she got going on when they get ready to hand out this sentence. And I don't know. I feel like just society in itself is very intimidated by a black woman. I don't know why. I mean, I honestly don't get it. I mean, we are amazing, absolutely, but I don't know what it is that just makes. I don't know. To me, I feel like we're the ones that need the most grace.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I mean,
seriously.
we've been through so. I mean,
I
not
feel
the
like we
black
need the
woman.
most grace, but
Hmm.
so maybe they just be trying to use that, to against them, the domestic violence or whatever. But yeah, I think that's why I tell women now, for real, I don't care what it is, keep your hands to yourself. And I
Yeah.
especially tell my sons that because I don't want you hitting no girl, and I don't want no girl hitting you. So I think
Hmm.
us as women need to keep our hands to ourselves too as well. We got
Hmm.
to if we want
And
to really stop doing that.
yeah, and we have a campaign at the organization I work for, Women on the Rise, that we have started. It's called 381 parole reform, because there are actually 381 women serving life sentences here in Georgia. The majority are domestic violence, in there for domestic violence, whether she was protecting herself,
Oh.
had been battered in the past and just got enough of it and then killed, you know, did what she had to do to, like, you do what you have to do. So yeah, Georgia will give you a life sentence. And then what Georgia did was, I cannot remember the year, but it used to be what, 14 years for a life sentence. And then they turned around and made it 30 years. And everybody that was up under that 14-year sentence, they did the retro and took them from 14 to 30 years.
That's
They gave
terrible.
them an extra 16 years.
I mean, well, life is life, so that's probably what they
Yes.
tried to use as
Yeah,
the reason why they did
so
that.
at 30 years you're eligible to be looked at for parole, but
I know,
that
but
does not mean you coming home.
before they were eligible at 14
At
years.
14, yeah, so they gave
So
them that action.
so
Mhm.
individuals that were already incarcerated was looking at, let's say they've been there for 10 years, 4 more years, they were looking at, okay, I could go up for parole. Then
Mhm.
they did something that pushed it to 30 years.
Yep, they passed this new law, and yeah.
Man,
And when I
Georgia.
find it, I will share it. I will share it with her, so that way you all can see it.
That's why you have to be careful the company you keep, because look how fast
Yeah.
it can turn into that.
No, for sure.
You know,
Please, if you find it,
Mhm.
if you can send it over to us at
I
Handcuff
sure
Status,
will. Mhm.
I would love to see that.
Yep. Mhm.
Do you guys have anything you wanna say? I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to say anything you would like to say.
I don't know. Especially if it's anybody young that watches your show, I really hope young ladies. I feel like we need to gather, just get united. I hate that we're so divided as a people. I feel like if we were more united and we could get the men back in their homes, I feel like I think there's so much that can stop all this mass incarceration for real. I just think it has to start with us though. We can't wait on the government. You
You
can't wait
guys
on your
are the
president.
backbone. You guys are the backbone of this
Yeah, yeah,
nation. So it
I
has to
know,
start with
right?
you
We
guys.
got to do it.
No, it's
That's what
true.
I think. I think we just need to get the union back. That's what I have to say.
And
Yeah.
I would like to say, you are not the sum total of your worst mistake, right? Don't allow what other people say or even how they perceive you to be as your most defining moment. You always have, like, we get to write our story every day. Every morning you wake up and your eyes open, you get the opportunity to write how you decide how that day is going to go for you. And if it don't go right, hey, I would say you get another opportunity. Every day you have breath, like, you have another opportunity to make whatever change it is that you want to make, to do whatever it is that you want to do. We can only stop ourselves. Nobody else can stop you from doing what you want to do. You only stop yourself, and you limit yourself when you believe what others have said about you, what others think about you, and what other people have told you. I always say, prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong. Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you guys. Thank you guys
Mhm.
so much. We would like to thank Wytishia Bly and Trindalin Brownings for coming out here and sharing their story. Two powerful Black women doing great things in the community right now. I really appreciate you guys for doing this. For all those incarcerated, remember freedom is a must. Free up lifers. Shout out Private Spaceship. Like and subscribe. If you guys have questions, email us at handcuffstatusinc@gmail.com. And never forget our real mission. We're trying to break the chains of injustice.